Hey guys, as you know, there's been a lot going on in the real estate world nationwide. And the hot topic right now is an NAR, National Association of Realtors settlement that just took place in August last month. A lot had to do with, commissions and the sellers having to pay buyer agent commissions and having the option to negotiate or pay them in its entirety. And based on that, internally, we've been doing a lot of trainings for our agents to get caught up to speed with the settlement, with the new rules that now is the consequence to the settlement, and most importantly, being able to share their value proposition. A lot of our listing agents have already been doing this as, in order for us to get a listing, we have to let the seller know why we're worth what we're worth, why the value will bring to selling your home, and all the good things that we do, including the marketing, the negotiation, the transactional process, the paperwork, the timing, the strategy, everything that we do in order to sell the property for top dollar. So the tides have shifted where now no longer a buyer is settling for an agent that may not be the best choice for them or the best value to them because they may have to pay for these services. And as you know, when things are not free but paid by someone else, which would be the seller, maybe you're not as critical on the service that you get from your buyer's agent. And so a lot of people, I feel, settle for their first lead, their first referral, or, my cousin's brother's auntie's niece or something like that. There's a lot of people settling for services that, or settling for, services that may or may not be on point, right? And so I think what has changed is that the bar for good service, good value has been upped in our industry, and buyer agents now have to work harder to showcase their value, thus their value proposition, right, with the buyers today, right? Because the buyers may have to end up paying the buyer's agent a commission. And by doing so, the realtors on the front line, I feel, have a moral obligation in our industry to share what a good buyer agent does and what it means to truly represent a buyer in general, because I think a lot of consumers may bypass using a realtor in its entirety. And, just like anyone else, people don't know what they don't know until they find out the hard way. And I think a lot of that is going to lead to a lot of lawsuits, right, by people trying to do things themselves, which maybe they're not the expert in that category. In this case, it's real estate, right? So thinking all this through and going through our trainings and talking about value propositions and what do we have and what do we, why are we worth it as a realtor to represent you, right, as a buyer? And so we've been doing a lot of these trainings and exercises, and to make this story full circle, I just came back from Arizona and I had a lot of time to listen to music. And along the way, I plugged in one of my old audiobooks. And it happened to be the original Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which I completely love and continues to motivate me today. The irony behind this book is that it was written in 2020, 24 years ago. And, all the concepts stay true today. And the blessing I've had as a personal, as a child growing up, is I've had the blessing to have a father that really taught me a lot of these concepts in middle school before this book was even put out to the world. So I've had the blessing on getting a lot of this trainings on wealth and money management and cash flow and passive income and concepts of, just having your money work for you, which again is a complete blessing that my father shared with me from a very young age. Now, of course, at that age, I didn't appreciate it, as they were kind of like all forced exercises, if I may. And full circle, I'm right here in real estate, and so is my brother, happens to also own a brokerage in Hawaii. And, again, full circle, we're right in the middle of this game we call real estate, and very passionate about what we do, probably because my father planted these seeds at this early middle school age. Now, circling back to Rich Dad Poor Dad, there is 2 pages in one chapter that really, really stood out to me. And I'm like, oh my God. Everything that we've been talking about in our agency trainings was already written out in this book about the value that a good broker adds and why you should pay them a commission, or a good commission, right? And so I'm going to read off real quickly what Robert Kiyosaki had to say, because to me, this is so relevant. And I'm going to also share this with my agents and make sure they at least read this page 177 about paying your brokers well, the concept. And I hope you guys like it. So jumping right into it. It starts with number 6, pay your brokers well. And this is 6 of, 10 principles. The power of good advice. I often see people posting a sign in front of their house says, for sale by owner. Or I see on TV today many people claiming to be discount brokers. My rich dad taught me to take the opposite tack. He believed in paying professionals well, and I have adopted that policy as well. Of course, Robert Kiyosaki is saying this, not me. Today, I have expensive attorneys, accountants, real estate brokers, and stock brokers. Why, you may ask? Because if, and I do mean if, the people are professionals, their services should make you money. And the more money they make, the more money I make. We live in the informational age, and kind of funny because this was written again in 2020, 24 years ago, but it's still the same. We live in an informational age, and information is priceless. A good broker should provide you with information as well as take the time to educate you. I have several brokers who are willing to do that for me. Some taught me that when I had little or no money, and I am still with them today. When I pay a broker is tiny in comparison with the kind of money I can make because of the information they provide. I love it when my real estate broker or stock broker makes a lot of money, because it usually means that I made a lot of money. A good broker saves me time in addition to making the money, as when I bought the piece of vacant land for $9,000 and sold it immediately for $25,000 so I could buy my Porsche quicker. A broker is your eyes and ears to the market. They're there every day, so I don't need to be. I'd rather play golf. Also, people who sell their house on their own must not value your time much. Why would I want to save a few bucks when I could use that time to make more money, or to spend it with those I love? Page 2. What I find funny is that so many poor and middle class people insist on tipping restaurant help 15 to 20%, even for bad service, and complain about paying a broker 3 to 7%. They enjoy tipping people in the expense column and stiffing people in the asset column. That is not financially intelligent. That kind of hit home for me. All brokers are not created equal. Unfortunately, most brokers are only salespeople. I would say the real estate salesperson are the worst. They sell, but they themselves own little or no real estate. There is a tremendous difference between a broker who sells houses and a broker who sells investments. And that is true for stock, bonds, mutual funds, and insurance brokers who call themselves financial planners. As in the fairy tale, you kiss a lot of frogs to find one prince. Just remember the old saying, never ask an encyclopedia salesperson if you need an encyclopedia. When I interview any paid professional, I first find out how much property or stocks they personally own and what percentage they pay in taxes. And that applies to my tax attorney as well as my accountant. I have an accountant who minds her own business. Her profession is accounting, but her business is real estate. I used to have an accountant that was a small business accountant, but he had no real estate. I switched because we did not love the same business. Find a broker who has your best interest at heart. That's key too, you guys. Many brokers will spend the time educating you, and they could be the best asset you find. Just be fair, and most of them will be fair to you. If all you can think about is cutting their commissions, then why should they want to be around you? It's just that simple logic. As I said earlier, one of the management skills is the management of people. Many people only manage people they feel smarter than and they have the power over, such as subordinates in a work situation. Many middle managers remain middle managers, failing to get promoted because they know how to work with people below them, but not with the people above them. The real skill is to manage and pay well the people who are smarter than you in some technical area. That is why companies have board of directors. You should have one too. And that is financial intelligence. So a lot of what we've been talking about has been already printed in this book, come to find out. And I just forgot about it because I haven't reread this book in so long. It's amazing what you can learn by, revisiting some things from the past, especially concepts that, never doesn't have a expiration date on it. They will continue to last. Anyways, I'll continue teaching this concept to all of our agents and staff. And we will be working on our value proposition because the value is there. It's just how do we share that with our consumers, with our clients, right? How do we showcase what we do and why we're relevant? And then second of all is walking the walk, right? And having a portfolio, understanding real estate, understanding passive income, understanding property management, understanding the renters side of the arena as well is so critical to understanding the entire picture. And that's what we're here for. Guys, we do this on a daily, we work with investors and we buy and sell the investments. We work with the property management and everything is gauged, calculated because you make the money when you buy the property, not when you sell it. So these type of concepts to me are priceless and we'll continue to share that kind of value and education with all of our clients. But hope this hits home for you guys. Hope this adds value. It added value to me, and I'm sure it'll add value to our team as well here at Xpand Realty. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to, talk deeper on the topic. But if you haven't, the biggest nugget I could give you today is read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the original one. And if not, read it, listen to it. It doesn't matter, but get the information. And then you can apply that with your experience, thus becoming wisdom. And you can pass it along for generations to come with your children, right? Or your friends and family. And the biggest flaw I have in our educational system is just this, right? Management of money, how to leverage your credit score that you work so hard to get. How do you buy a property? What's the benefits of buying versus renting? How do you manage your money, right? All of these concepts I didn't learn in school. The school that I've attended, not to say that it was a bad education. It's just focused in a different direction. And it also, a lot of those educations just really taught me how to make earned income, but not so much how to turn earned income into passive income. And that's what this is all about. 90% of all millionaires made it through real estate, guys. And it starts with the mindset and then the know-how. So read the book. It's a fun it's an easy read, and it's a fun listen if you haven't. I promise you won't be you won't be you'll be happy you did. And I promise you, I'm not selling you anything about Rich Dad Poor Dad or Robert Kiyosaki, but I found his concepts to be very spot on, and I have high respect for this gentleman right here. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I will continue to educate and talk about real estate and wealth. Thank you. Take care.